going to break this beaner on the end of it. Oh, fucking Christ. Yeah, that ain't happening. Hey everyone, got a little airplane story for you. Are you getting tired of these yet? Freaking travels with firearms and what went wrong and all that shit. Again, I say this every time. Law of large numbers. I'm going to have stuff that goes wrong on occasion when I fly with firearms. I'm on planes, sometimes like 100 segments a year. We're in the sky a lot. The guns are in the belly of the plane a lot. I'm going to have some weird stuff that happens. This was a new one for me, though. As the title indicates, outright lies. Like outright lies. To the or possible just massive miscommunication, incompetence, something in the middle of there. But let me just explain what happened. You'll tell me what you think happened. Maybe I'm completely misjudging the situation. This just a couple days ago, honestly. Had a nice long trip back east. I was in Virginia for a while, as you know. I was running Covert Methods of Entry, Red Team Alliance training. That went great. Best crop of students imaginable, just lovely humans. And I extended the trip a little bit. Got a little more extra time with Emily. Loved that. Saw the Super Bowl. Go Birds. Good victory. Everything was just clicking. Everything coming into place. Driving up to the airport on time. Returned the rental car. Nice smooth check-in. Airline staff very helpful. Okay. Bop, 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 bop. I should have known something was a little bit iffy, though, when I'm looking at, like my bags, okay, and I'm messaging Tara, of course. I've told you about AirTag, so Tara's back home. I said, hey, I'm going to make the flight. Everything looks good. She says, yay, can't wait to see you. I miss you very much. And I said, hey, can you check the AirTags? I don't want to, they don't want to call and tell me what happened with the bag. Sometimes you get, as you know, airline personnel who say something like, oh yeah, it's been 15 minutes. You're probably good. Don't believe it. Check any information you can check. And I kept saying, look, could you please call the bag room? And they actually, they'd made a phone call. They said, they said, hey, Rampers, do you have a gun case? Have you loaded it on the plane? And they said, no, well, we're still doing our loading. The plane's not for a while. And they said, oh, they're still doing loading. We don't. I said, that's not what I'm asking you. I asked, can you tell me where the case is? Do they have it? I don't care if they've loaded it. Is it at the pier? Is it on the tug? Where is it? Because Tara starts sending me screenshots, and Tara's like, well, one of your cases is way out there. The other one's like 4 feet from you. It's behind the wall. And then I start showing them. I'm like, look, this case looks like it's not where it should be. Can we figure out what's going on, please? And eventually, again, you push hard enough, wonder of wonders, someone leaves through let me call. TSA? Yeah. You have a gun case back there? This passenger wants to know if he's released. Is the case cleared? What? Okay, coming out? Okay. He said, someone's coming out. A minute later, TSA guy, very nice fellow, young man, comes out, says, you the guy with the gun case? I said, yes, I am. I said, oh, good, you're still here. Sit tight for a minute. Okay, that's what I was doing. He goes back. Comes out again a few minutes later. He's like, okay, so I got some information about your gun case. Okay. It's like, so let me just tell you, first of all, you pack the gun correctly. Not everyone does that. Good job, man. And I'm like, yeah, you're not dealing with a fucking kid here. Like, I know what I'm doing. But, he was actually, it's in that way where someone's trying to butter you up so that they can then zing you. And here's this, I'd never heard this one. He said, but here's the problem. The case wasn't locked. How many of y'all watch this channel? How many of you know how my latches work? Of course the case was locked. The case has to be locked. That's the only way you can, as I told him, I let him talk for a while, but then I eventually was like, look, homie, I don't know what you're trying to get at here, but the case was absolutely locked. And he's like, no, but it's okay. Some people screw it up, man. Just got to listen to me because the rule is it has to be locked. I said, yeah, what are you talking about? And I started asking him questions. I said, okay, are you saying the case wasn't latched? Like, what are we talking about unlocked here? He's like, yeah, I just pushed the buttons and they, wasn't locked. And I said, okay. Were you the one who actually opened the case the first time? Was it physically you? You're the only one back there? Were you the one doing the opening? And he said, well, no, we work in teams. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. So no, what you have is a person who possibly got aggravated that I was calling the bag. Like, I think they just got irked that I was like, hey, what are you doing with this gun case? Is it clear? Is it not clear? I don't know. Maybe they didn't like my political stickers on the inside of the lid. I don't know. I do know, and many of y'all know, that the only way these latches will operate is you need the key to open them, you need the key to close them, and then you have to lock them to extract the key. It's not the default way these latches work from Pelican, but how many of you, I'll link at the end of this video, right? I have a special insert that my team and I have designed. It's just little spline channel blockers, but it means you can't physically pull the key unless it's locked, because I've had problems with the TSA not relocking these latches. They just go, oh, it looks good, slap, and they'll lock one or not all of them. Who the fucking cares? So I started explaining to the guy. I said, look, I'm sure you're just trying to do your job, and you've been told whatever you've been told, but what you're describing is a physical impossibility. And it was like I was just talking to a wall. He's like, no, man, you got to understand, though, because if you don't do it right, my supervisor was back there, the STSO, and he wanted to write this up, and you can get fined. You can get fined with thousands of dollars. I was like, okay, sure. Now, but I'm not obviously talking to the supervisor. What happened? He's like, well, I talked him down, and I said I would relock him for you because we have the keys. I was like, yeah, I know how this fucking works. Anyway, homie's trying to be my buddy, and I covered your butt, so you should be oh so grateful to me. Thank you, Bruce. I'm sure. And maybe, again, I don't want to attribute malice to this guy. Maybe he genuinely thought that's what was happening somehow. But again, let's just go ahead and look at this up close and personal in case you haven't seen any of my previous videos. So again, locked. My key goes in, unlocked, right? But if I don't relock it, if I try to pull, no way. No way. It's the only way it's coming out. Now, that's with my key. And yeah, I'm showing you my key. Who gives a shit? It's the same key on every Pelican latch like this. Not high security here. But also not high security, the TSA has master keys. Let's try the TSA master key, the TSA 007. Again, locked. A little bit of a turn. Okay, unlocked. Now, the TSA key is thinner. So could we... Oh! Did you see that? I've never tried this before. It's actually just not locked at all because, again, the spline channels are packed in there. So the plug, you could just turn it back with your thumbnail. But unbelievable. I think we now know what happened. I can only unlock it with my key like this, and then I can't extract. It's key retaining. I have to relock it. The TSA, if they really fiddle with it, let me try to get it right in the middle of the, there we go. They could unlock it. If they jiggle the piss out of it, they could pull their key, which they shouldn't freaking do because that's the whole point of the spline channel filler. Anyway, just one more time. Let's actually, I'm willing to do this for y'all. I'm willing to break it or break my key. Could I, under any circumstances, have unlocked it, left it unlocked, and standing there at check-in, pulled the key out? I'm going to break this beaner on the end of it. Fucking Christ. Yeah, that ain't happening. So now we know. Now we know that some jackwagon used their master key to open it, which again is a little fiddly. The TSA master key system is not a perfect system. Maybe they actually were just pissy at how problematic their keys can be. And that's what happened. I bet you almost any amount of money. Mystery solved. How about that? We learned something today, didn't we? Few things. One, The spline channel fillers don't absolutely guarantee that the TSA can't leave your bag unlocked. But we also learned the only way that my bag was found unlocked is if somebody with the TSA master keys unlocked it. But now I know, right? I got one more thing, but in my roster, my arsenal of like tips and tricks. If you are using locking latches like these, or anything that isn't visually obviously locked. You know, if I'd put locks through the hasps, and you can see these hasps have been through hell and back. That's some of these are, you know, they come fresh with the metal inserts. Those have been ripped off and beat up over the years. But if you're not using something like a visual hanging lock, which is unambiguous, you can't say you didn't lock it if there's a visual dangling dingus on there. But if you're using these latches, I think from now on, what I'm going to do, it's kind of a pain, but not that bad. Whip out the phone, do a real quick video. Okay, locked, locked, way to go. And you kind of hold it up so whoever's working, the check-in agent is standing right there. You're like, way to go. So now it's kind of like, you know, the hostage situation when you hold up a copy of USA Today. I can prove, more or less, that that video footage was my bag 5 minutes before it hit the TSA's desk. And if anybody tries to pull a fast one and say, oh, you didn't lock it up, it's kind of like, you all know this, right? If you return a rental car, right there as you pull in, was everything okay? As you gas it up and you give them the keys, you're taking out your cell phone and you're doing a quick walk around the car with rolling video. Okay, there's no dents, dings, scratches. That has saved my butt in the past. Colleagues of mine too. A number of us have, you had a giant broken window. No, I didn't. I have a video of it. So I'm going to start doing that. A quick hit with the camera. Okay, you can see it is locked. Done. There you go. All right, well, I didn't like this encounter. I mean, the guy could not have been nicer. So genuinely, either he was a psychopath in terms of how charming and nice he was, or he genuinely believed what he was saying. In which case, he was misinformed, I think, by a colleague who, for whatever reason, was like, hey, you know, this isn't locked. Who the hell knows? Maybe somebody couldn't figure out how to relock it. I don't know what the hell goes on behind the wall. It's why I don't think that's an appropriate way to do bag screening for firearms. I think every airport should have a special screening area, no matter how small, where right in front of you, this is a special case. Okay, we're going to do it right in front of you, run it through the machine or do the hand scan or whatever we do. Thank you very much. Okay, see ya. If it's going away from you, behind the curtains, maybe do a quick video first and stand your ground. You know, again, the guy was trying to give me, oh, I'm helping you out. I'm so nice. Don't you love how nice we were? And I didn't give him an inch. I said, okay, well, just so you know, I write articles about this. I help design the components in these locks. That's not, like, mechanically not possible.
Because those can lock, come back to dead center, and come back out, right?
That is the only way to pull the key out, is if it is locked. Yes.
Yes.
If it is in the unlocked position, you can't extract the key.
Correct. That's the same thing that happens, because we have the master keys for those, because
Right.
you have the TSA locks,
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
So I locked it for you. So your case is locked, everything is back where it should be, right? Well, I love it.
It might be
Yeah.
shady.
Like,
I think
if
wasn't
I was going to buy one, that's
Sir?
genuinely the case I would buy.
Right on.
Your bag, your firearms up there and they're boarding.
Yep, that's what I heard. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. And thank you.
Yeah,
Have a good one.
Yeah, take care.
Bye now. And he just kept looking at me like I was crazy. He's like, well, you just got to know, man. You got to understand the right way. Yeah, I do understand. And you got to understand I know what I'm fucking talking about. All right, wound up being a good day. Flights were easy. I got that upgrade with a double D for double dose of that straight pimpin'. And I flew home. And Tara and I, as you saw on Instagram, had a lovely birthday dinner for her. And we got Valentine's Day coming up, and on and on and on. So I hope you all are having a good time wherever you go. Hope you're having a good month. We'll talk again. I'm not going to end on a downer note. Like, none of us are having a good time. Everything's pretty bad. But if you haven't seen my other videos about this, I'm going to keep doing what I do, and I'm going to keep trying to put out what I put out. Not because I'm oblivious to everything happening in the world right now, but because if we stop being ourselves, then what do we have? Keep being yourself. You're going to keep smiling at a few things that make you happy. You're going to keep fighting when things make you angry. And you're going to love each other and watch out for each other. And that's what's going to get us through. All right. I'll have more to say about the world, I'm sure, in an update later. But for now, Pelican, news you can use about TSA keys. I learned something today. I hope you did too. Wherever you're flying, with your guns, without your guns, lock bags, whatever, I hope you and your luggage stay safe out there.